harder to let go.
That guy just came at me at 900 miles an hour.
That's awesome.
Well, we're in Winter Harbour on this trip, and you might be asking why, because we got Sam here, and the last time we were out with him, we were out in 𝗏𝗏𝗏, but he's got his guide boat out here, Go Fish with Sam. We're fishing a local derby here in Winter Harbour, and that's also a spot that I guide in. James has been up here a couple times as well, and we're gonna get out there in the 30-knot winds and see what we can find and where we can find a spot to go fish.
Got a bit of a nasty day today. We got 25 to 30-knot winds coming in from the southeast. I'm excited because I guided here years ago, but recently Tyler guides here now and Sam guides here now, so I'm gonna get guided today and over the next couple of days, so I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. We might be able to get a couple hours out of it this morning.
Yeah.
There's always somewhere to tuck in to get out of the storm.
Absolutely. So. We'll go check out the lighthouse, see what's kicking out there. We're going to poke our nose out of the bay here and see what the water's doing, but we'll find a spot to put the gear down.
Yeah, I think so. It's going to be fun.
Awesome.
Looking forward to it.
So one of the cool things about Winter Harbour is it's in the northwest corner of Vancouver Island. And as the fish migrate down to hit Vancouver Island, they make a decision. And some of them go to the east and go down the inside of Vancouver Island, and some of them go to the west and go down the outside of Vancouver Island. And Winter Harbour is quite neat because it's the first place that you can intercept these salmon that are coming down the west coast. There should be squid, there should be needlefish, even some immature herring around. That's what we're going to try to imitate today and try to intercept some of these salmon that are making their way down the side of the island.
So here's what we're going to start with on the starboard side here. A little hoochie. There should be some squid starting to come around, although a couple of the guys haven't seen any yet. And I think Sam's probably going to run a spoon on his side. We're just going to try and figure out what the fish are eating on, try and match it, and see what we can find.
Absolutely. It's going to be a start rate. One of two really great options, one on either side.
Absolutely.
Kind of, we did that last year once we figured out what they were biting on more frequently. They could double it up or get close to doubling it up.
Yeah, that really worked for us good last year in June in 𝗏𝗏𝗏. You know, we fished, I think, the little fatty for a while and a hoochie, and we were hitting them on that.
That day we actually got them on anything.
On anything though, yeah. We had a hot day, didn't we?
Yeah, it was really.
So as we're pulling in here, you can see we've come from 100 feet up to about 56 feet. We've got rocks on our right-hand side, so we're just working along the shoreline here, and we've got little bits of bait showing up right on the bottom. All right,
there we go.
Fish on.
That looked like a salmon bite. Came right off the cliff, didn't it?
I'd say so, yeah. 65, right off
65 feet. I think you got that glow flasher on with that Van Herring spoon. Just a little shaker.
There's another fish over here.
There we go.
Right on that side, double header.
Look at that.
Oh yeah,
set.
Noble One has got us into the fish today, baby.
Oh, I missed him.
Did you? Nice way to start the morning. Little tug. As they say, the tug is the drug. Oh yeah. You sure you lost him, Sam?
Yeah, he got him.
Nice little fish here. We're going to go ahead and release that.
And here, James.
Nice. Firm setting. You'll see in almost every show that we do, Tyler and I like to put them on the firm setting. Right down there. These guys are going to pop them off the clip. They're going to hit. As we learned we were fishing Bamfield, they're going to hook themselves in a firm setting. 58 feet of water. I'm going to go back down to 53.
We got bites on both depths on that first pass, so.
So challenging conditions today. Obviously, we've mentioned there's going to be some major waves and wind coming from the southeast. Sam and Tyler found a little bay in here. We've had a couple of fish on a lingcod. But it's actually quite fishable. A little bit of rain, very little wind, very little swell. Nice. Sam, I'm noticing here, man, you're not keeping us in a straight line.
Yeah, I know. You were just saying we're zigzagging. Well, especially when I'm fishing close to shore, I like to zigzag a lot when I'm trolling for springs, because sometimes I think you get fish that are just following your lure, and even if they're only following it for a couple seconds, you give it a little bit of a turn, and whether it's the rod that's slowing down in the turn or the one that's speeding up, it can be just enough for the fish to think it's getting away from them, and they take one extra bite at it.
There we go.
And we're on. We made the turn. We brought the gear up from 65 to 53 feet. Sam asked us to bring it up. He runs the inside rod, the one closest to shore, a little bit shallower than the one on the outside. We just doubled up, guys.
Doubled up!
Here we go.
It is!
Way to go, boys.
This one's pretty small, but
Yeah, same with this one, but hey, sometimes you got to go through a series of bites to get that one we're looking for. Mine's still there doing the dance.
another one about the same size as before.
Yeah, I think so. Right in that sort of 10 to 12, maybe more like a 10. Let him wear himself out a little bit. Come to the boat nicely. Perfect.
And he's hooked just nice right in the outside of the lower jaw there. So we're just gonna say goodbye.
Perfect.
Nicely done, Sam.
Right on.
Excellent
There's
release.
another one.
Right on, buddy. We're into him. We found the spot.
We're about 50-50 with spoon on one side and this hoochie on the other side. White crush there, and glow hoochie with a red bead and a green bead in it.
Yep. This is the Hotspot UV Glow Crush flasher. This is honestly one of my favorite flashes that I fished for a lot of years. We got a West Coast fishing tackle, a brand new 𝗦𝘂𝗯𝘀𝗃 on that side with the full glow, which is an amazing paddle, and it's also catching fish. So, you know, what we've got going on here is really working, and we're just gonna go through the bites until we hopefully find a keeper and a contender that we can weigh in at the Derby. So let's keep going. Man, we're right in here next to this kelp bed over here. I don't know if you guys can see this that well. And I'm not looking at the sounder, but I would imagine we're right in that sort of 59 to 60 foot of water type deal, right off this kelp bed, doing a few zigzags, and it's just the perfect situation for a nice fish. This episode is brought to you by Gone Fishing, serving Vancouver Island and beyond for over 30 years. West Coast fishing tackle, the quality anglers deserve. Parksville Boathouse, your full-service boat dealer and chandlery. Winter Harbour is such a great spot for you to come up and bring your own boats, because you can launch down the way. It's Coal Harbour that you can launch at, or we do have a boat launch in Winter Harbour if you want to brave the gravel road. But it's a pretty cool spot because we have so many different spots to fish. You've got the lighthouse over there. Cliff Point is a really well-known spot. You've got Brooks Bay, and then you've got all the way up to the North Island around Cape Scott. You know, the guys from Port Hardy will come around that top end as well. There's some really nice spots up there that you can fish at if you've got the fuel capacity for it. But it's real rugged West Coast out here. There's big rollers that come off the west side there. July and August is just gangbusters around here. I mean, we have a lot of fun fishing here. Lingcod, halibut, the salmon fishing is amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's kind of the last frontier.
100%. So if you have an opportunity to come up to a place like this and really fish the northwest end of Vancouver Island, Winter Harbour is absolutely the spot. There's lots of U-boaters that come up. There's great accommodations. Go fishing with Sam, guided service as well. We got accommodations at 𝗦𝘂𝗯𝗃𝗃 River Resort, which is where James and I are staying. That's where I guide out of. Sam guides out of Ole's. They have also accommodation there for guide services and U-boaters as well. Definitely come and check it out because it's just a beautiful spot to fish and you won't be disappointed. Oh, that seems like a decent one. Oh yeah.
A little better.
Oh, he's yanking pretty good.
You're down at 42 feet. I was down at 41 feet.
Brought that up when that bait was.
You liked my bait better.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That bait was suspended.
Let's see what we got here.
He was pulling pretty good at first, wasn't he?
Yeah, we've been getting kind of that 10, 12 maybe range. So,
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Switch was just stuck on.
Oh,
Oh well.
lost him.
What happened?
Well, I was paying attention to the switch on the downrigger, and at the end of the day, he just did a little cartwheel and spat the hook, and sometimes that happens. That's fishing, baby. But the tug is the drug, so let's go for another. So we just hooked up that nice one here in the bay, but we're gonna head back out a little bit here over to this kelp bed. And what were you thinking, Sam?
I think we're gonna just go a little tighter to the kelp this time. Kind of, I don't know, work our way in there. Maybe if there's a bigger one hanging out, he's sitting in the kelp bed. Sometimes they do that. You know, the big fish will seek kind of a bit more shelter. They sort of bully the smaller salmon out of their more prime hiding spots.
Yep, right in tight.
Hey, you got a fish, you got a fish.
Oh, there he is.
That's better.
Nice. That looks a bit better.
That tight pass right in the kelp. That tide is pushing that kelp over towards the rocks so we can get in there just a little bit tighter. Sam put us into a beauty here.
That was
tugging pretty good.
33 feet, that one.
Oh, he's,
Oh, looks like an okay fish.
he's peeling some line back there. Oh yeah, that's a nice
That's a
fish.
keeper.
Yeah.
Oh, easy, buddy.
Oh, he wants us to be landing him over there. Perfect.
Turn him as best I can for Sam here.
Let me see if I can give you a little bump with the throttle. All right. Where are you going, buddy?
That's frisky.
Oh yeah, he does not want to come
Going
in.
under the boat. You notice when he goes under the boat, Tyler walked towards him with the rod.
There it
All
is.
right.
Nice
work,
one.
boys.
All right.
I didn't want to lose another one, and this is a nice fish.
Nice fish, Tyler.
Yeah, I think we'll take that. That's what, I think about 13 pounds, 14 pounds.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gives us something to get on the board. And
And we got some hidden weight prizes too, so we
do,
definitely
yeah.
want to bonk something like this, I would say.
not to mention,
Nice job, Sam.
he's bleeding anyways, so
Yeah,
give me
exactly.
another one. That was weak.
Right on, Sam.
There we go, brother.
Yeah,
Right
he is
on.
bleeding, you're right. Still got that white UV glow crush on there, and the glow hoochie with an orange and a green bead inside. That's probably a Sam special that you shouldn't know about, but you know about it now.
Yeah.
So you can see our setup here with the tandem hooks, the way that Sam's got these tied, one facing up, one facing down. This just helps with better hookups, and you can see they've got a little bit of an offset. This also helps with the pinched barbs, just to help that fish stick a little bit better. So something to be mindful of when you are tying up your hoochie setups in a tandem like this. Make sure that they're one up, one down. There it is.
And what's the distance, Sam, that you have that hoochie behind your flasher?
It's, honestly, I just eyeball it. I just go from my fingertips to about my shoulder, typically.
Yeah, it looks about 36 to 38, somewhere in there. So what I do, bleed that fish just right in those
Fish on it.
gills.
All right.
It's happening here today.
Yeah.
One after the other. Fishing with Sam Noble, my friends, here in
there's
Winter Harbour. Another nice fish, Sammy.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, this guy's pulling pretty good.
So they're hitting the hoochie and the spoon.
Yeah,
These
buddy.
guys are hungry this morning. Well, that's another nice fish, guys.
Yeah.
You want to let this one go or you want to take him?
Let's take him. He's eyeballed.
Okay. There we go. Second one on board.
Yahoo!
Nice one, Sam.
Nice one. Right on,
That's a
buddy.
good fish,
Thanks.
absolutely.
The team
So-
of Tyler and Sam are doing a number
gonna,
on these fish today.
I'm going to dispatch him here and then thank you, fish. Thank you. And we'll just show you why right away, why we didn't even hesitate on taking this one. If you get right in here, James, you can see his eyeballs all, look at that, the hook's right up through his eye.
Yeah.
So we're not even going to think about that. Not to mention, he's a hatchery fish. See, the adipose is gone, so great fish to take. Great table fare.
What are you doing there, Tyler? You like to rinse out your net after you land a fish?
Yeah, just give it a quick rinse, you know, get all the blood and the scales off of it. Just keep things nice and tidy. Sam here keeps a very clean boat, so we're going to get to scrubbing the deck here, getting the blood off and making sure that we're looking good.
Looking good is fishing good.
Yep. What a shot. Into another one.
That's awesome. Little guy James is going to throw him back here for us. Thanks, Jamesy.
Welcome.
Nice little guy, though. We like bites.
It's been fast and furious here this morning. Fish of both sizes. We managed to get a cohort up to the boat. Got two keepers. They got us on them.
I don't think any of us set a timer, but I doubt it's been much over an hour and 15 minutes since we started fishing. Maybe an hour and a half.
Yeah, we've hit at least 6 or 8 fish already.
And we're hitting them between 32 and about 61 feet. Some of the bait suspended 35, 40 feet. This rigger's running at 37. Sam, what depth are you at?
44.
And 44 on that side. So they're all over the place, but seem to be in that area between 35 and 60 feet.
And one of the really nice things about this particular derby is that one of the rules is you have to bleed your fish.
Yeah, or it doesn't count. You're disqualified.
You're disqualified, and that's part of keeping that quality of that meat. You know, there are some derbies that do happen out there where you don't necessarily have to bleed, but you're really doing yourself a disservice for the quality of that meat. You want to take home the best quality you possibly can, get that stuff on ice, get it frozen, get it vac packed, get it on the table and serve it up sweet, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So bleeding that fish is absolutely key, and I really like that about Oldie's derby is that he wants all the fish bled or you're disqualified. I think that's really smart.
Fish on. Coming over behind you, Sam.
All right.
This guy is another coho there, Sammy?
Yeah, you bet.
Oh, perfect.
Nice. See if we can let him go nice and easy here. He was stuck on there pretty good, but our barbs are pinched. Sometimes they get it right in the deep in the bone of their lip, and they're harder to let go.
That guy just came at me at 900 miles an hour.
That's awesome.
Sam, have a look at this, see what you think.
That's a pretty nice fish. Let's let this one go.
Okay.
I think he's hooked healthy.
Yeah, he's not hooked too badly.
Nice looking fish.
Yep.
Mature fish. He's actually looks like he's foul hooked a little bit. He's not bleeding or anything like that though, so I think it's still a really safe release. He had lots of energy. Away he goes.
Sam, we've had a pretty good morning here.
Yeah.
Fish are
awesome.
pretty much cookie cutter. We're getting sort of the 10 to 12 pounders.
Yeah.
You want to stay here for a little bit longer. You have a feeling there might be some larger fish in this school?
Yeah. I think the chances are just as good here as any, or better perhaps. I mean, we've got a spot. There's only a couple other boats here. There's lots of bait on the screen. You know, it's tough to leave a good bite like that to go somewhere else when, you know, what we've seen the last week or so are fish around the same size. So I think the likelihood of something in the high teens or low 20s showing up here are just as good or potentially better than any other spot.
And sometimes all it takes is a tide change. A fresh batch of fish comes in. They might be bigger guys as well.
Exactly.
We've got a tide change coming up here in about another hour or so.
Yeah, about an hour.
So your favorite adage, stick and stay, make it pay.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you hate to leave a bite, right?
That's right. Exactly. We know that.
This episode is brought to you by West Coast Fishing Tackle, the quality anglers deserve. Parksville Boathouse, your full-service boat dealer and chandlery. Gone Fishing, serving Vancouver Island and beyond for over 30 years.
Woohoo! Here we go again. Morning, Sam. We got coho jumping in the background over there.
Unreal. I lost mine again.
What?
Yeah, he's gone. Rick, they were both off the cliff there.
Same general spot here, just off the kelp, off these rocks.
That seems to be where the bite is for sure.
He's got some shoulders on him, about the same size as the other guys, I think.
Is he? Yeah. Yeah, he's about the same size, hey?
Yeah.
Hooked in the corner of the mouth.
Hooked perfectly. It's the corner of the mouth. What do you think, Sam?
I think we throw them back.
Okay.
Let's look for nice looking fish, James.
That is a good looking fish.
Yeah. He's another hatchery fish. We're gonna let him go. You know what? He's kind of eyeballed too. See that?
He just got eyeballed because he was in the corner before.
See that?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Let's do the right thing, boys.
Yeah, do the right thing. We'll bring him in. We'll talk about that too. That, by the way, is the way to hook a fish and bring him in the boat without showing the net.
Yeah.
It's a tricky way so nobody knows we actually brought a fish in the boat. So we saw on one side of the boat we were using the glow hoochie behind that white flasher. On this side we've got a glow green, hyper glow green. And this is the Van Herring spoon. Glow on one side, got the herring colors on the other one. So really heavy glow happening on this side of the boat. We've got a bit of an overcast day, and these things are lit up down there.
Yeah, it's nice to see. Lots of hatchery fish too, like that one we just took right now. It's another hatchery. So we really love to see that. There's a lot of effort going into the hatcheries on the West Coast. Part of the proceeds from this derby this weekend are going to the Marble River Hatchery, which is the local hatchery inside 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Sound. So good chance some of these fish are going back there. Might be a little early, but they're definitely, they're West Coast fish, probably local fish. They don't look, these ones don't look like Columbia fish to me. The Columbia fish tend to be a bit more of a football shape, although it is hard to tell. Still nice to see the hatchery clip Chinooks. That's why we're producing them, right? So we can all get out here and enjoy and do something that's less impact on the wild stocks.
Absolutely.
Gonna have to wait to tub them.
Came right off that clip.
Nice.
Still set that hook in them though. I like to make sure they're good and hooked. We got an islander on one side. We're running a coast on this side just to test it out. Both made on Vancouver Island. Not a bad little reel. Nice large arbor on it, which I do like. Because when they're running towards you, that large arbor, you can really get on them. Oh, that might be a little yo-yo. He's kind of doing the dance.
Yeah, he's dancing around a little bit.
Oh, it's a spring, little guy.
Nice fish, Tyler.
Yeah.
He's been bit by what looks to be like a seal or something along the way. See his belly there? Something grabbed a hold of him. Don't want to have him hang out for too long. We'll just send him away. Thanks, fish.
So you'll notice when you're fishing with buddies or other guides, especially if you go out for a guided trip, you saw that Sam grab that line with that gaff, or hopefully you saw that. And then as soon as he grabs that line, what I do as the fisherman is let out some line so that my rod tip isn't hunched right over. If that fish decides to take a run or something along those lines, Sam's got enough slack in the line where it's not going to tear up his hand. I'm not going to break any rod tips. It's just something to think about when you are fishing and you got guys that are netting fish, especially when guys net fish. Some guys will bring that net in right away. Your rod is just right torqued over. As soon as that fish is in the net, peel out some extra line, let that rod tip go slack. You're not going to risk breaking anything. Well, we had an awesome morning here at Winter Harbour. That was just perfect kickoff for the season.
That was killer.
That was killer.
Even better than expected.
Never cease to amaze us, Sam. Excellent morning fishing, my man. Lots and lots of fish.
Yeah, that was a riot. Thanks, Tyler.
Must have been about 10, 12 fish, I would say.
Yeah,
maybe
easy.
even a little more. So.
Yeah. We lost track.
Yeah,
That's a good sign.
I know,
Yeah,
we did
that's
lose
good.
track. We started throwing a bunch back. We ended up keeping a couple in the box, and we'll take them in, see if we can get anything in the hidden weights for the derby. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this morning at Winter Harbour. If you ever have the chance to get out here and really fish the West Coast, this is a great spot to come. Again, lots of accommodations, and the guides around here are just absolutely the best on the planet. So come on up and fish Winter Harbour.
Thanks, Tyler.
Yeah.
What a riot.
Thanks,
Look forward
buddy.
to seeing you guys soon.
Absolutely. Thanks again, Sam.
Thanks,
James.
Andy.
What a blast.
$10.6.
That, as they say, is a wrap.